What is my favorite sport? When I read that the Toastmaster Keegan had chosen favorite sports for today's theme, I said to myself, I don't have a favorite sport. I don't even like sports. How am I going to write about sports? My husband said to me, honey, you know way more than you think you do about sports. Just think, go back to your childhood. So that's what I did. I went back to my earliest memories of sports. I immediately thought of cartoons, not cartoons of sports, but the cartoons that I missed because my dad watched sports on TV.
What was one of those ones you missed?
Well, we were in a household with only one TV, and I loved watching Richie Rich, Carl. And I missed Richie Rich because it came on at 11, and my dad watched college sports. And on Saturday mornings, it really interfered with my cartoons. So that was my earliest memory of sports. Moving right along to elementary school, I began to play softball. The position they gave me was third base. I got a leather glove, I got a uniform, and I stood out there and I was really good at catching pop flies. I didn't bat that well, but I could catch a ball and get 3 outs.
Did you feel the grounder?
I got a few grounders, Carl. I wish they would have had me on film. I was good, but after elementary school and my my career at softball was over, I started middle school and began to run track. I was really fast. I did the 50-yard dash. I did the 100-yard dash. And they even found out that I was a really far jumper. I could run and jump. I don't know. I don't remember, but it was really far. And I won ribbons. So I was not a star athlete, but I earned a few ribbons, so I was happy there. When I got, also, I did a little basketball. Wasn't very good, uncoordinated, couldn't dribble, but I tried. But what I really wanted to be was a cheerleader. And so when I know, right? When I got to high school, I tried to be a cheerleader in my freshman year, and I made it. I could yell, I could jump, I could clap, I could stomp. I was good. I was. I know, right? He said that cheerleading is not a sport. Mr. Parliamentarian, could you help out there a little bit?
Madams, could you please keep it down while the speech is being made?
Thank you very much. I was a good cheerleader. I could climb to the top of the pyramids, and it was really fun for me. But as Keegan says, cheerleading really isn't a sport. I do agree. Then I moved out of high school and I started college. I went to the University of Tennessee, and I kind of wanted to be in sports a little bit. So I got a job in the press box at the University of Tennessee, and I was what is called a ball hostess. Back before computers, up in the press box, the men, yes, all men at that time, would type up statistics, and then I would be down at the end of the row, and they would hand them to me, and then I would run them to the radio announcer, and they would put it on TV or the radio, and that was my job. And I don't remember how much I got paid, but I got a field pass, so after the game I could go on to the football field. And that was really great, because in 2002, Peyton Manning came to town. And so I had sort of access to him being on the field when I was there. That was really, really great time.
Did you have a crush on Peyton Manning?
I had a crush on Peyton Manning.
Was that a union job? Just out of curiosity.
No, it wasn't a union job. You know, I'll tell you after the meeting how I got that job, but it was a paying job, and I earned a little bit of extra income while in college having that job. Now, I wasn't really watching the game when I was up in the press box. I didn't really care about football. I just kind of wanted to really make money and just sort of be socially acceptable at the games. So there was an occasional Super Bowl, World Cup, Formula One party that I would go to in college, but I really didn't care if I missed it or not. It wasn't an integral part of my life. Always initiated by my friends. And it wasn't until my marriage that NFL became part of my life. You see, NFL football, for those of you who may not know, every Monday night, every Thursday night, and every Sunday during the football season. And because my husband loves NFL, I just had to go with it. So that became part of me for 23 years. We've been watching NFL footballs. And I can't tell you the countless number of times that he has tried to get me to understand a play, watch a play, rewind the play 5 times so I can watch it again. And I didn't care. I was like, I don't even care. But I acted like I did for years. I acted like, and he still tells me for years and years and years. Finally, this season, something happened that changed it all for me. Mr. Irrelevant. Before I go any further, I just want to know out there, how many of you know who Mr. Irrelevant is? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Great. I'm going to tell you who Mr. Irrelevant is because I didn't know either. Since 1936, they've been having the National Football League draft, the NFL draft, 1936. In 1976, they started this thing called Mr. Irrelevant, where the last man for the draft is called Mr. Irrelevant because he was chosen last. They don't think he's going to be good, for sure not the best. And they wanted somebody to have an award. Maybe he wasn't the first draft pick, but he was chosen in the draft. So, Mr.
Madams, could you please call to order? Thank you very much.
Thank you. I'm so glad we have a parliamentarian.
Sergeant at Arms.
Yeah, Sergeant at Arms. Yeah. Now, forgetting where I
Could
was.
you hand me the gavel just in case it's
Yeah.
one more thing?
I'm trying to figure out where I was here, you guys. Can anybody help me?
Mr. Irrelevant.
Yes, Mr. Irrelevant. Sorry.
I don't know who Mr. Relevant is, but I'm hoping maybe you could tell me.
The
Thank
last
you.
one picked.
Yes, he was the last one picked in the draft. They wanted him to earn something. So, Mr. Irrelevant, just so you know, he's last picked in the draft, but his whole family wins a trip to Disneyland. They win, they win a
Have you
There's-
ever been to Disneyland?
I've been to Disneyland once, but I'm sure I didn't get the treatment that they got. I have a list of things that they win as Mr. Relevant. There we go. They're right here on this little paper.
Is it
Thank you.
Disneyland or Disney World?
It's Disneyland in
Oh, that's cheap.
California. They actually, yeah, Disneyland. Oh, yes. He also, for his family, a golf tournament they win for the entirely family, a regatta, a roast offering advice for this last person chosen for the draft. And he also wins the Lozman Trophy, which is a mimic of the Heisman Trophy. Brock Purdy. He was chosen as Mr. Irrelevant. He was the 262nd player chosen. And this year, the San Francisco 49ers chose him. Most Mr. Irrelevants remain irrelevant. This is the first Mr. Irrelevant that's actually become a star. Because when he was chosen for the 49ers, our first draft pick, Christian McCaffrey, was injured. And then Jimmy Garoppolo got injured. And I only know these names because of my husband, trust me. But they had to put in their third string quarterback.
Did you say the first quarterback was?
Christian McCaffrey. He graduated from Stanford, Carl.
But he wasn't a quarterback.
Oh, he wasn't the
He's not a
quarterback? Oh, all right. Well, you can see I don't know much. but
It's irrelevant.
You're right. But the point is, third string guy got in and he has won the last 7 games as quarterback. Now, I went on to find some interviews on YouTube. I watched interviews with his father, his coach from high school, his coach from college, his coach from the 49ers, his teammates, and they all say the same thing about this Mr. Irrelevant. He's the most humble, player that they've ever met. He's the hardest worker. He puts in more time on the field than anyone else, and he doesn't care about himself. He wants to get the ball to all of his team members, not the best ones, all of them. He wants every member on the team to have playing time. So he looks for people. They don't even have to be clear. He throws the ball to give everybody a chance, and they're doing super well.
Does he throw it to the wrong team?
I think what I read, Carl, was he's had one interception. I could be wrong, but I do believe one interception. They said he was going to, they said that many people overlooked him. They thought in college, the reason the draft didn't pick him, they were said, well, he was really good in college. The reason he didn't get picked was because he played at a state school and the competition wasn't there. And it made him look better than he was. So they really overlooked him, which was a shame. But actually, maybe not a shame, because it turned out to be a great story. It's the most inspirational story I've ever heard in football. It got me passionate about football. I would have never spent any of my time on YouTube searching out sports facts. So it's really been a change in my perspective. And I don't know about you guys, I can't wait to watch the 49ers play on Sunday at noon.
Does your husband know how much you know about this?
He does. And just in FYI, this Sunday at noon is the first time that two quarterbacks will come together under the age of 25 in the playoffs. So our new Mr. Irrelevant is at 24 years old, and the player on the Eagles, also 24 years old, the youngest players to ever meet. Another fact for Sunday, in case you're watching the game, there's another Mr. Irrelevant on the Eagles team from 2009, but he didn't make it like Brock Purdy did. Mr. Toastmaster.